We're excited about this year simply because there's a number of new initiatives and a number of things that we've put in place that we will share with you today. What I wanted to do is share some of the new initiatives. These are our aligned partners that we have with the event this year. One of the things that we did undertake after the last event is look at how we can involve more of the industry. It is important. SMPTE has always been, I guess, the flagship event, but SMPTE have also taken a very big picture view on this in the fact that they need to involve the whole industry and as many of the partners as possible. So we're very pleased to have on board the sponsors this year and other supporters who have been involved with the program and what we're doing. We have made some changes this year to the event, being down at Darling Harbour. One of the things that we have done is move the convention onto the show floor. Now we've done that for some very strategic reasons. I'll just highlight where that is so you can see it. It's been moved onto the floor primarily so that the delegates that are attending that conference can spend more time on the floor. They are a lot of the movers and shakers that you want to see, and we recognise that in the past the convention has been a fair way away from the exhibition, and whilst we'd like to think it's easy, it's now easy for them to actually go in and out of sessions on it. We've also structured the program, and Jerry will talk a bit about this later in his time, so that you can actually come in and do sessions as well. So there's a bit more flexibility, and we're hoping that also means that exhibitors will have opportunity to attend those sessions more easily as well. So it's one of the big changes for this year is that plan. The other part of the workshops, we have kept the workshops of the floor. There's a couple that I think are still available slots, but they're basically now full. So our program is looking very full as we move forward. The other area we've got now is our Careers Corner, and once again we'll talk a little bit about that when Jerry comes up. It's another initiative that we have in the event, and he'll go into more detail about that with you. I can tell you from an exhibition point of view at this stage, we have about 4 gaps left on the floor. There has been, as you can appreciate, over the last 4 to 6 months, a number of shuffling around within the industry, some increasing, some decreasing, some changing, merging, etc. We believe that's all settled down now, and by the time we get around to the event itself, we will be full to capacity, so we're very pleased about that. The other areas are the cafe areas, just highlighting them up the back and how they will work. One of the things we are looking at is incorporating some coffee stations down the front as well. That will be determined whether we do have any space or not, because it is a premium. I gave a commitment a number of years ago to make sure that we have storage on the site so that you weren't having to take stuff off site. We have maintained that promise on site as well this year, because even though we're a premium and at one stage we were looking at trying to get rid of it perhaps, we have kept that because it was a commitment we gave all of you. I just wanted to put this back up again. This is the packages, and it's a timely time to raise it, I guess, going into SMPTE, that these packages, we have sent them out a number of times. They're actually in your satchels today, and these are there as cost-effective solutions, so you don't have to build the grandstand. So even if you've got a big site or a 6x6 above, we've actually come up with a number of packages that are cost-effective, that you can tailor to your needs, as well as hanging screens, etc. And these have all been put in place to make it cost-effective. And I just want to make that point that they are there available for you. And the company that does that, Exhibit Systems, it's a cost that you'll talk to them about. They'll tailor and make it into anything that you want. Some options there. This is something that we wanted to show you. Comparing apples with apples is pretty important. Exhibitions at the moment are performing exceptionally well in attendance. They're actually, in this country in particular, we're breaking records. Our business, we're involved in things like jewellery retailing, probably one of the toughest markets in a depressed, you could say. We ran our Brisbane show this year and we were 1% up. Now the trend around the world, in Asia in particular, they're 40 to 60% down on attendance. We're going the opposite way. And in actual fact, at that exhibition, exhibitors reported the best year they've ever had because they were more qualified who came through the door. We're feeling very good at this stage because compared to 2007 to 2009 at the exact same date, we're already 50.3% ahead of where we were at that time. Now our program's now starting to roll out. If you've seen our website and how we're doing things, we are really taking it up a notch. This is where you'll find a lot of our advertising and editorial. This is what we are targeting, and if you want to know more about that, Karen and Sue are here tonight, but it's a fairly broad coverage of the magazines. Of course, this will be supplemented with newspapers and radios like we do each year, just to give that last minute reminder. We're also looking at this year integrating SMS reminders, so everyone that registers will get an SMS reminder during the event of simply say it's on and come on down. Some of the material that's got, now you'll have this again in the satchels tonight with you, the preview guide has actually mailed, that's already gone out to our database. To give you an idea on that, there's about 24,500 of those that have already gone out. And if you want some of those, there's limited stock of those. One of the other things we've got is our DL flyers. Now these are an opportunity where you can put your name, stamp it or put a sticker on it and send it out. There's about 27,500 of these available. Some have already gone out, but if you haven't done it, I'd urge you. Now there's a good reason I'd urge you to use some of this material, is that hopefully some of you by now would have been receiving the new exhibit tips, my exhibit tips I put out each month. And they come out about mid-month and they cover different topics. This one that's coming out on the 14th, and this is just one point out of the newsletter, is called Are You on the Must-See List? And this is what do you do to drive business? But there's some interesting research that's just been released, and that is that 76% of visitors decide before they go to an expo who they're going to go and see. Okay, so they already know it. What's been really interesting that's come out over the last 12 months is that by pre-promotion, now Phil's here from Content+Technology, I'm sure he'd love to take your ad, and that is part of it, because what the ad should be doing is actually branding that you'll be at Simply in your stand number. But what they've found now is that you can increase traffic by 33% to your stand by letting people know you're going to be there, and even more so if you have a special offer or some kind of thing that you can track it. And that is a little bit about tonight. We are actually urging you that it isn't, we have a campaign. There is a theory that, you know, some companies take the high road that says it's up to the organisers to deliver the clients. That's not totally true. We're partners in this. You guys are like shareholders, and as shareholders we need to work together to get the best possible result. And we're doing everything we can by partnering, and if you've got ideas, we're open to those as well. Some of the other things we're doing, the Gala Awards. This year we've changed the format. Last year, or in 2007, the dinner went over very well. We're mixing it up. We're very conscious of cost at the moment within companies, and that's why the format has changed. So it will be at the Powerhouse. Our MC for the evening will be Tim. Can we get a bob rate, Tim, by having you a few of these? I hope so. Great. It'll be a cocktail-style event, so you'll be able to move around with plenty of food. Most importantly, we'll have the awards presentation, the Mention Film Festival, Content+Technology Awards for Innovation. And we've this year set a little bit of a bar for the rest of Simply around the world, and we've come up with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, this is for services to the Australian film and television industry, and there was one name that came to mind on this, and we said, gee, it'd be a long shot, but if we could pull it off, wouldn't it be terrific? So I'm very pleased to announce tonight, to tell you who's going to be there. So he'll come along on the night, we'll do a bit of a talk, and he'll be presented the award. And it'll be Mr. Jack Thompson. Yeah.